Morning everybody, and welcome to Meister Tarot yet again. I'm going to attempt to, just putting my beautiful crystals for my gilded tarot to one side as I get the cards out. I'm going to today bang out a series of videos, very quickly question answer session on the well, I've got 4 countries down here. We might expand on that a little bit, one video per country. So let's get started. First country I'm going to tackle is the US. There's a lot going on in the US at the moment. I tend not to get involved on a daily basis in the local politics on the day-to-day. You know, infighting, bickering, corruption, you name it, politics everywhere in the world, eh? So what I'm going to do, I've got a dozen questions here. If I get to all of them, fantastic. If I don't, then we'll get through the major ones first. So what I'd like to tackle is, I cannot believe in less than a year you've got your midterms coming up already. Where the heck did that come from? So yeah, very quickly to the table with the midterms. There's still dissension going on in regards to the elections of over a year ago, which has been resolved time and time again, yet there's still an element that is spatting about it. But what I want to do first of all is just have a look at the midterms. Oh, welcome, Meister. Thank you. Puts the most beautiful iridescent bubble around me, just to protect me and to let me know he's there. Also makes me feel a little lightheaded when he's actually replying to a question, which is every question. So if I get a little bit woozy, I do apologise. Okay, so certain states are doing everything in their power to hinder voting. Red states, Republican states, Republican governors. I don't understand it because they're actually hindering their own voters as well. The Federal Election Committee has come out yesterday and said on a federal level that foreign influence is okay. They're okay with it, and it just you guys have some mind-spinning politics, I'm afraid. That it would do my head in to be living over there. It's bad enough being in Australia. But I just want to see, so to achieve a lot in any government, one does need a majority. I just would like to see how the midterms are going to go for the Democrats. Will the Democrats win more seats? Now, they're okay in the House, but in the Congress they have a majority, I think, of 1. And then you've got a couple of dissenters like Minchin and Cinnamon, who you really have to question whether they're Democrat or not. You know, they don't seem to be making decisions to the best benefit of their constituents and or America. So you know, you might say they have a majority of 1, but you know, it's a bit touch and go. The thing with the difference between the two parties is the Republicans very strongly vote along the party line, whether they agree or not, whether it's for the best for their voters or not, they stick to the party line. Whereas the Democrats are more liberal and more diverse. So instead of being staunchly right conservative, they tend to be from middle ground to extreme left, which means getting consensus is extremely difficult because there is such a diverse range in the Democrat Party. But I just want to ask, will the Democrats? A few readers I know have said yes, the Democrats, the Democrat voters will move heaven and earth to be able to vote regardless of restrictions. But I just want to see for myself, will the Democrats win more seats in the midterms? Let's have a look. Quick look. Signifier, the Empress. Abundance, prosperity, very much a yes card. The Star, so she is moderation, but she's also respite and re-nourishing, as she's pouring the water onto both land and sea. So moderation, so we're moving towards a more moderate government, which is good. Ace of Cups, new beginnings, and the world. Holy smokes! So we've got three major arcana, and an Ace of Cups, which tells us this is an extremely important reading. So the Empress, yes card. So four yes cards basically. So they will win more seats. The world is the end of a cycle and achievement. Ace of Cups, new relationships, new emotions, just an overflowing. Star, moderation, and the Empress, abundance and prosperity. So, first question of the day, very strongly yes. Yes, the Democrats will win more seats in the midterms, which is fantastic. Now, in the meantime, we've got the Green Deal and the Infrastructure Bill sitting stalled, going back and forth, as those that are under the influence of fossils are not wanting to embrace progressiveness, and there's just again those that don't want anything positive to occur under the Biden administration, so they're making it go back and forth. What I suspect is that both bills will, or deals, will be cut down until they finally get approval. But once the midterms come through and they have a bigger majority, and those like Minchin and Cinnamon become irrelevant as they don't hold sway any further, more opportunities, more segments of the bills will be reintroduced, and Spot's come to say hello, being reintroduced. But I just want to have a quick look. In some form, will the infrastructure bill pass Congress by the end of February? Will the infrastructure bill, which will give the administration time to implement some of it, cards flinging out at me, will the infrastructure bill pass Congress by February 2022 in some form? Some form of the infrastructure bill. It's getting a bit noisy. The neighbours' watering systems come on and hits my fence. Will the infrastructure bill pass Congress in some form by February 2022? Right, quick look. It's going to be a battle. The King of Wands, so all kings are authoritative figures and mentors, and they are wisdom. This is an honourable and empowering king. Eight of Swords, it will be cut back and feel like it's restricted in some way, but it will get through. So this is for the benefit of the community. Base of the pack, hard work. So yes, it will. It's got a little ways to go yet, but yes, it will get through. But it will be a battle. The Biden is my King of Cups, so I'm suspecting the King of Wands is another figure in conjunction with Biden who is doing some serious negotiating. But yes, it will get through for the benefit of the populace of the US. I don't see why there would be any opposition to it. You're talking about, fixing your roof, basically the roof of the US. You can't live comfortably, make money, enjoy life if you've got a leaking roof, or toxic water coming out of your taps, or can't get to work because your bridge is falling down, and it is a process that will employ a lot of people as well. So next is the Green Deal, the new Green Deal. Will the new Green Deal, which is the converting of the US power systems, now that's currently heavily reliant on fossil fuel, will the Green Deal pass Congress, converting it to a renewable-based energy? Need to set the foundations in place. It's not going to happen overnight, but the foundations need to be set in place. Will the Green Deal be passed? Okay, let's have a quick look. The Star, moderation. Ace of Pentacles, new start. Knight of Swords, harsh truth. And the World again. So again, this is a yes. 2 major arcana, 2 court cards, which is telling me that this is an important reading. Take note. And yes, it will get through in some form. So moderation, replenishment, a new beginning for the earth. Pentacles are earth cards. They're also financial and wealth and material possessions. So for the financial benefit of the US, yes, they do need to. There will be some harsh truths that will be brought to the fore because he is the messenger. It's also very perceptive, this knight, and determined. So they'll work damn hard, and it will be a new cycle, a new achievement. Okay, so that's a yes as well. So midterms, Green Deal, infrastructure bill. Now I just want to ask very quickly, there's concern that there will be some violence leading up to the midterms. What's happened is there is an element of the Republican Party that have been, to put it lightly, their anger, hate, fury, brandishing of arms has been stirred up, but they have been pointed towards no outlet. If you ask anybody who's going, they stole the election, we will battle with them, how dare they? But if you ask anyone who's saying the them and they, apparently they can't tell you who them and they are. So they actually have they have this enraged fury with no direction, no outlet, which is a bit like what happened on January the 6th. There was a catch cry, a slogan, a 3-word slogan, a call to arms, so to speak, but there was actually no plan, no clear direction, what are you going to do and what's going to happen next? So that is a bit of a worry. So I just want to ask, now apparently recent polls just before the 2020 elections, 49% of Republicans believed that some form of violence was the only path forward, the only recompense if they lost the election. That is down to 30%. So the figures are trending in the right way as violence being the solution, but it does still mean that 30% believe that violence is required. Now, this is 30% of Republicans, so you've got to realise that this is 30% of 40% of registered voters or thereabouts. So you're looking at only about 12% of voters. However, that still does equate to 3 million people, which is the population of Sydney in Australia, for a way of thinking of it. So I just want to ask, is there going to be incidences of severe violence? There will be violence, full stop. There always is in the US, sadly. Will there be incidences of severe violence or large groups of violence in the lead up to the 2022 midterms? Will there be incidences of violence in the lead up to the 2022 elections? Quick look. Okay, reaping what you sow. Introspection. Thief in the camp with the fox, so this is them being misled, walking away from what does not work for them. King of Swords. Investigations, legal systems, courts. So yes, there will be. I don't see it as being anywhere near 6th of January, but this is basically the Republicans reaping what they have sown, a poor harvest. So yes, there will be, but it won't be a lot. This is the lies, the deceit, the sly fox, the stealing of the truth. But a lot are just walking away. There will be legal ramifications. So the fact that there's legal ramifications indicates to me that yes, there will be something, but it won't be dramatic. So do what needs to be done and cast your votes. Okay, I'm going to have a little diversion into some nitty gritty. I might change my deck. I'll just pause for a minute. Hang on. Okay, back again. So I've grabbed my mystical magna cards. So the Gilded Tarot are very much for overall state of the play for other countries, political, etc. But when I'm getting down to the nitty gritty, I do like to use my mystical magna cards. So I'm going to do a little bit of gossip here. I just want to see Fox. Fox is responsible for so much of the misinformation, the lies, the off the rails of the US. Unfortunately, in a lot of areas of the US, in the rural areas, it is the only news channel available, so they have no choice if they want to watch the news, and it does have a tendency to lead them down a garden path. So I just want to see whether, as a bit of speculation, will Fox News lose its television license? Murdoch's getting very old. His son is actually even worse than the old Murdoch, Rupert Murdoch, in regards to being an extreme right fascist. The son that's going to take over, the moderate son, has stepped aside and he said he has no interest in any part of this hereditary hierarchy. But I just want to see, will Fox News down the track, not giving a time frame, will Fox News lose its television license due to the lies and deceit and misinformation and manipulation? Will Fox News lose its license down the track? Quick look. Chariot, things will happen very quickly. Decisions will need to be made that will affect on a world basis, because Fox is around the world. This is the Four of Coins is hanging on to what you've got, insecurity and loss. Oh, base of the pack, the Tower, and intergenerational, and stabbed in the back, and walking away from what no longer works, and then also the legal system. So no time frame, but for a bit of goss, yes. Yes, it will have been, and when it happens, it will happen very quickly. Okay, Bannon, Steve Bannon. Oh gosh, you know. Give me your money and I'll go and buy myself a big luxury yacht. So, Steve Bannon was found guilty, pardoned by Trump. He has no protection from the White House. They're trying to get the DOJ are trying to get him to flip. His health is not good. He has betrayed so many on so many levels. Tell me about Steve Bannon. What does the future hold for Steve Bannon? What does the future hold for Steve Bannon? What does the future hold for Steve Bannon? What's the future for Steve Bannon? Steve, come to us. Oh, the devil. Okay. This is him chained to the greed, avarice, temptation, all things that are very unpleasant. He is contemplating his choices, waiting for his ship to come in. He's being made an offer. At the moment he's resisting. The Knight of Coins, the mercenary. So this is Steve through and through. He was the mercenary, chained to the devil. He's being made an offer. Hasn't decided upon it yet. Illusion, delusion, and death. Right, well, his health is not good, whether this is actual death or whether this is him flipping. Time will tell. But that's pretty much sums them up. The mercenary, chained to the devil, is being made an offer, hasn't made a decision as of yet. There is a plans afoot, plans plural, and then we had finishing up with the death, illusion and delusion. He's under the illusion. He's under a lot of illusion, but he's also created a lot of delusion as well, and eventually death. Now, whether that is that he will flip or he will pass, time will tell. Okay, Tucker Carlson. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. He tries to take himself as a serious journalist, but he is just a spewer of lies. The sponsors have been falling away. I don't know why he's still on the air. wonder if a civil suit will be brought against these people in regards to COVID. Just want to see what will happen with Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson. Don't understand why he's still on the air. Tell me about Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson. Tell me about Tucker Carlson. Oh, he's sitting pretty. Financially. King of Cups. He's calm. Usually, actually, no. This isn't Tucker. This is Biden. Now that I've drawn the second card, Judgment. So this is a call to arms, but it is also an inevitable occurrence. And wish fulfillment. Eight of Wands, jail. Gosh, okay. The Hierophant, the justice system. Again, he will also be made an offer. Well, he will naively be made an offer. And the King of Swords, which is the courts, legal, the truth. The truth coming out. Insight, truth. Base of the pack, Knight of Swords, harsh truth. Don't know if this one's actually jail or just that he'll be restricted. And I think it might be he will be restricted rather than jail. So he'll be judged. So the goodness of Biden will come through. He's sitting pretty financial wise. I can't see anything severe happening with him, but he will be restricted. Okay, very quickly. Oh, there was a few that I was going to have a look at, but we're heading towards the half hour and they were supposed to be quick readings. I want to have a quick look at, with climate change occurring, all sorts of extremes of weather, extreme conditions have been happening all over the world, including in the US. You only have to look at your wildfires on the East Coast, the massive flooding, and to be honest, once the fires go through, if you do get the big rain, there is no vegetation to hold back the water. The massive flooding on the east, I believe it was the East Coast, which cost lives. The hurricanes, there's that are heading towards, even up towards Chicago, which is extremely, extremely rare, but they seem to be happening more regularly. Now, I was woken at 5 o'clock this morning by Meister with a very vivid image of an oil spill off the east coast of the US. I kept saying, are you sure it's the East Coast? I was trying to say, well, is it the Gulf of Mexico? Is it the... no, and I kept getting brought back to the map of the US with it off the East Coast. Now, the reason why I had a map of the US, it will be such a large oil spill that it will be visible from space. And what the message I got was that this will be a major psychological turning point for the US and the world. So it was just, I'm sorry, I couldn't get back to sleep. It was quite horrific. Doesn't tell me when it's going to happen, but it will basically be the big wake-up call that the earth, that the humanity needs. But I just want to, on that rather negative note, I might end with something a bit lighter. On that negative note, I just want to have a quick look to see Natural disasters in the US. Tell me about, in the next 12 months, natural extremes of weather in the US. Tell me about it. Natural extremes of weather in the US. Natural extremes of weather in the US. Okay, let's have a quick look. And then we'll find something a little bit lighter. Okay, these are the moneyed living in the lap of luxury. They see no reason to change. However, we've got the death card. The King of Cups, which is Biden. And an offering. So these being ignored. A single cup remains. Illusion and delusion. Going to come at you very quickly. And having to movement of humanity. So this is the Green New Deal. It's, to be honest, it's 20 years too late. But what is happening is that the US are still being controlled by those who think money is all. But there is going to be abrupt and significant change. And whatever the US does in the short term, or the world, is not going to be enough. They're under the delusion that she'll be right, mate. But what will happen very quickly, and it will force of movement of humanity. I think that's probably not just the US, it's the entire world. We seem to forget that we need a healthy planet Earth. Planet Earth would quite happily carry on without us. So, on that note, so yes, there will be. I'm going to do one last gossipy message, just to lighten the mood again. Ivanka and Jared, gone very quiet. What are they up to? Tell me about what's happening with Ivanka and Jared. Tell me about what's happening with Ivanka and Jared. Ivana, the mother, fourth husband died the other day at a young age. Don't know, I think he had cancer or something. Will she have husband number 5? Goodness knows, she can't seem to find herself without a man. But I just want to ask about Ivanka and Jared. What are Ivanka and Jared up to? What are Ivanka and Jared planning? What is Ivanka and Jared planning? What are Ivanka and Jared planning? Ivanka and Jared, what are they planning? They've gone very quiet, trying to distance themselves from the mess that they helped create. Ivanka and Jared, what does the future hold for them? Quickly, this is them. Illusion of a happy family. Star of Hope. Queen of Wands. Ace of Swords. Ivanka has a plan, and they will reinvent themselves, basically, is what it comes down to. Justice, intergenerational money. They're just suspending themselves at the moment, as in hanging around, working hard with their circles of support. nothing's going to happen to them as far as the US is concerned. I have read in the past that they will exit stage left, just slipping under the radar. And on that note, a couple of other things I was going to touch on, but that will do for today. So thank you for joining me. Catch you later.